A point differential in sports is one of the most simple statistics around for judging roughly how good a team is. It's points scored minus points allowed. Higher values are better. Couldn't be simpler. In 2012, the Seattle Seahawks had a point differential of 120 across the span of 3 games. In order to get a differential that high, that fast, you need a level of destruction rarely seen. Let's see just what it takes to hit 120. Seattle hosts Arizona in Week 14, and as those of you familiar to this channel will know, Seahawks-Cardinals games can get real weird real fast. And given that this matchup sees a battle between rookie Russell Wilson and Arizona quarterback John Skelton, this matchup will be no exception. Arizona starts with the ball, but does not hang on to it for long as Skelton throws a pick, which the Seahawks convert into a field goal. The Cardinals punt, then the Seahawks punch it in to take a 10-point lead. The exact same 2-drive process repeats, and Seattle goes up 17 to start the second quarter. Skelton then throws another pick, this time to Richard Sherman, and he takes it all the way back to extend the gap to 24. Okay, Arizona, this one is starting to get away. You need a stop, and you got one. Okay, they're going to punt. You muff the punt. Seattle scores again. But Arizona's defense forces an interception. Okay, progress. Then Skelton hands it right back to Seattle, who tallies a few more. And it's halftime, and Arizona's down 38. Make that 45 after the first drive of the third. Then 48 because Skelton threw another pick. 51 at the end of the third, and 58 at the final whistle. Oh boy, Arizona, 58-0? Yikes. Well, for Seattle, they're halfway to 120, and next week they head up north to Toronto to play the Buffalo Bills. Seattle gets the ball first and takes a quick 7-0 lead. Buffalo is then forced to punt, and Seattle scores again, 14-0. Having scored 72 straight points, the Seahawks defense finally concedes a score as Buffalo gets a touchdown. But Seattle fires right back with a field goal and another touchdown after a Bills punt. Given what's happened last week, it's clear that if you let Seattle get going, they are going to flatten you. So Buffalo, you're down 24-7, you need a score. And they get one. They score 10 in the second quarter, only allow a touchdown, so 31-17 at half. Not great, but better than last week. Okay, Bills, if you have a good second half, you can get back into this one. You threw a pick, Seattle scored. Okay, you're down 20, but plenty of time left. You just fumbled. Okay, it's 23 now. Buffalo, what are you doing? That's another pick, and Seattle ran it all the way back. But Buffalo, it's 50-17 at the start of the fourth. That's the game. What just happened? For the second straight week, Seattle just goes on a tear, locks down an opposing offense for a huge chunk of the game, and simply runs away. Okay, let's calm down for a second. Our tally sits at 91 with 1 game to go in the streak. Hello, San Francisco. This game is huge for Seattle, not only because they have a massive wave of momentum, but they can also clinch a playoff spot for the first time since 2010 with a win over their biggest rivals. Okay, let's do this. The first quarter is 2 San Francisco punts, followed by 2 Seattle touchdowns, 14-0. The Niners then get a drive going and set up a field goal, which Seattle blocks, and runs back, 21-0. San Francisco then hits a pair of field goals, and Seattle tacks on a touchdown to make it 28-6 at the half. In the third, Seattle punts. The Niners then fumble, and Seattle scores another touchdown, 35-6, and it's happening again. Kaepernick is picked, the Seahawks score again, 42-6, and as the fourth quarter expires, the Niners finally punch in a touchdown for a 42-13 final. 58-0 with 8 turnovers. A 50-17 demolition in Canada, and a 42-13 statement against a rival to clinch the playoffs. That's what you need for 120. And that's just what Seattle did. I've been Slideshow Sports, and as always, I will see you next time.